Today, we're going to explore how you can deliver modern software training using Arlo and Heropa. We'll walk through what a modern blended learning journey looks like and show you how the latest tools and workflows make it easier to create, manage, and deliver training at scale. We'll also cover the common challenges that come with software training and how Arlo and Heropa work together to offer a flexible, interactive, and scalable experience. And we'll show you this from both sides, the learner experience and the admin and management view, with a live demo to bring it all together. And to walk us through this, we're joined by Jason Kinsella, CEO at Heropa. Jason has built his career around simplifying the complex, helping organizations deliver high quality software training through simple, scalable virtual lab environments. And before founding Heropa, he spent 20 years as an IT infrastructure consultant in global investment banks, followed by several years in higher education at the University of New South Wales. That experience has led him to build a platform that brings together cloud infrastructure and strong governance to make software training and demos easy to deliver at scale. And outside of work, he's a classic car tinkerer, which might explain that aspirational background behind him. And how are you doing, Jason? Did I miss anything in there?
No, good. Thanks for the intro. Andre, I'm really looking forward to this webinar. It's a great integration and I can't wait to get started and show everybody.
And you guys are a little bit brave to be doing a live demo kind of from end to end, so I'm looking forward to being along for the ride.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have Ben, who's our senior product marketer at Arlo. Ben has deep product knowledge and works closely with many of our customers to help them streamline and grow their training operations. He's been working directly with the Heropa team on the new integration, and he's looking forward to showing you how Arlo and Heropa come together to give your participants an exceptional learning experience while keeping it easy for your team to manage. You all good, Ben? Ready to roll?
Yeah, spot on. Super excited and always love doing a live demo, showing things as they happen. Super excited.
Excellent. And so before I hand it over to Jason and Ben, a quick intro into Arlo and Heropa for those who are unfamiliar. So Arlo is the training management software that you and your learners will love. It's purpose-built for anyone running instructor-led training, giving you the tools you need to create, schedule, sell, and deliver live, self-paced, and blended learning, all in one powerful, easy-to-use platform. Software training brings its own set of moving parts, multiple formats, hands-on environments, complex content, and high expectations from learners who need real outcomes. Arlo sits at the center of that operation, keeping the admin under control and improving the learner experience so you can focus on delivering exceptional training. And we've been around, we've helped our customers train millions of learners, saved them countless hours, and helped them sell over $3 billion worth of training. Jason, hand it over to you.
Thanks, Andre. Um, Heropa is a hands-on lab platform that transforms how organizations deliver technical training and product education. We provide fully branded browser-based software lab environments that seamlessly integrate with Arlo or any of your other existing training workflows. Whether you're running virtual instructor-led training, on-site training, or offering self-paced courses, Heropa eliminates the complexities of provisioning and managing lab infrastructure. These environments can range from simple desktop applications all the way to complex multi-VM application stacks running in the cloud. Learners access them via their browser with no additional plugins to install, and the environments are fully configured and ready to use. And so we give instructors real-time visibility into learner progress and the ability to provide over-the-shoulder assistance through our shared workspace controls. And everything runs in the cloud, so all users have a high performance and reliable experience regardless of their local setup or location. Our platform handles the life cycle of these lab environments, including stopping VMs when they're not in use, so you don't have to worry about wasted cloud spend. Thanks, Andre.
No worries, and it's going to be really cool to see how these two systems work so seamlessly together. So before we get into the demo, let's take a quick look at what we mean by a modern software training experience. So often it is delivered across multiple sessions. It can be blended in delivery. So that's a mix of instructor-led and self-paced. So there might be some pre-reading to get you up to speed, some live interactive sessions and virtual labs, as well as videos, assessments, that type of thing. It all should be easy to buy, register, and access the training across those various sessions. And it also, on your side, it should be easy to manage, professional, branded, and secure. And would love to know out there for you folks, have I missed anything in what you consider a modern training experience, software training experience? Please let us know in the comments. Would also love to know what type of training you're offering and how you're delivering it currently. So it may be customer training, commercial training, internal training, and also how you're delivering it in a classroom, virtually, using e-learning, or if it's a mix of these things. Would love to get some insights into that. Jason, Ben, what about you guys? What are you seeing with your customers or with our customers when we think about a modern software training and where things are heading?
You can go first, Jason.
Okay, cool. I think one of the most common challenges we hear from customers is a difficulty around delivering engaging training experiences. Like we really believe that providing hands-on access to software environments is one of the best ways of engaging users. But that comes with challenges. Sometimes the application stacks are complex. They might require high-powered VMs or even need integration with cloud resources. And that's what Heropa does really well. The other common challenge is scaling your training with fixed team resources. We've built automation features into that platform that allows small training teams to achieve huge results. And Heropa is designed to be user-friendly. You don't need to involve IT teams or DevOps engineering to scale your training. And bringing that control back into the training departments is very empowering for them. So those the two main challenges we'd see.
Awesome. And yeah, I think from my side, in terms of the challenges, I guess when we talk to software training organizations, two big challenges come up quite repeatedly. There's disconnected systems and the difficulty of creating a unified learner journey. Course scheduling lives in one place, e-learning somewhere else, or within Arlo, you've got labs, another platform, and comms go out through an email or maybe a marketing tool, which means your team spends a huge amount of time keeping everything in sync, less than ideal experience for learners, and that kind of creates friction. At the same time, creating a true blended experience, like we saw before, is hard work. Providers can deliver each component on its own and they can do it well, but pulling them together usually relies on spreadsheets or manual lab provisioning and a lot of behind the scenes juggling. That's why this Arlo and Heropa integration is super exciting today. You get Arlo handling the full training lifecycle course setup, scheduling, registrations, payments, communications, while Heropa powers the automatic hands-on virtual lab environments. From a learner's perspective, it feels like one continuous journey. They're going to register once, receive the right information at the right time, and launch straight into their labs from that training flow. The whole thing then again becomes repeatable and scalable instead of that manual and fragile experience. That's why I'm super excited to present this integration today with Jason.
Nice, and we're joined by Claire from Eagle
Yes, the
Technology,
spreadsheets.
who has both systems. So that's pretty cool. She'll be able to see how they work together. And I think, when we
Totally.
look at it, either of our websites, both of us are talking about the end user experience as the core. So, how do you deliver training, or how do you kind of show your customers to love your software, or how do you deliver a really excellent training experience? And then on the flip side, it's actually taking care of a lot of those moving parts and friction from the management side, as Jason pointed out. So, we've taken a look at the challenges. I think we're good to dive into the demo. And really today, this is going to be mostly a big live demo from you guys. So I'll stop sharing, and Ben, you can kind of take the realm.
Alrighty, sounds good. No pressure. I'll just go ahead and share my screen. I'll jump into Arlo. We just get things all set up here with Zoom controls. Okay, cool. So we're in Arlo now. If you're not familiar with Arlo, this is our dashboard. So you can see kind of like all your training operations in one place. You've got your upcoming courses, any registrations that have come through, any orders that are requiring approval, any snapshot of your orders, and any checklists or any contacts and organizations updates that you need to have. So what we're going to do today is create a new course. So for the purpose of this demo, we really want to showcase the blended experience and also the integration between Arlo and Heropa. So what I'm going to do is set up a new course. Now, in the courses section in Arlo, you can see I've got all my existing kind of courses that are already scheduled, but I'm going to go ahead and create a new course. To do this, I'm going to use a template. Templates essentially save you a massive amount of time adding in information that you know you're going to be adding in already. So for example, maybe the website image or the website description, you know, for that course, it's always going to be the same. So templates really help speed up that process, and I'll show you that now. So if I choose new public course and use the template WordPress for beginners, what we're going to do is showcase a blended virtual experience from an instructor-led and then also a virtual lab around how to, I guess, access WordPress and how to use WordPress for the first time for some first-time users. So I'll click next, and you can see a lot of these options are grayed out because the template is pre-filling in all that information for us, so we don't have to worry about it. Don't have to worry about our schedule. Is it a basic one-off session or is it a multiple session? Don't have to worry about any tasks that perhaps we've got set up, and the price is automatically configured as well. In this instance, the two-session experience is going to be free, which is a great offer for anyone who's going to be registering. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. The next section we have is the website section, which I'm going to be showing you in a minute, the front end of that. But here we're just setting up, the advertised duration. We're going to give it a category so people can find it really easy on the website. We've got a summary, a description, and any images that pull through as well that you can show off your course content and kind of drive that engagement. Then we need to choose if it's going to display on the website, which we do want it to, so we've got that option selected. Next, we need to add our sessions. So as I mentioned before, we're going to be running 2 sessions for this. The first session is going to be a face-to-face session, and then that needs a date and needs to be all set up. So I'm going to set this up for maybe the 25th of November, and that's going to run all day, and that's going to be run in conference room 1. And I can add a presenter in here as well. So I'm going to add Mr. Buzz Lightyear, who is our best in-house instructor. Then I'm going to go ahead and save that session. And then I'm going to add a second session, and that's where we're going to have our virtual labs. And that's, again, going to be set up here, and I'm going to choose to run the following day on the 26th, all day. Happy days. Oh, and I'll just add Buzz Lightyear. He's already added. Perfect. Never mind. So we've got our face-to-face session and our virtual lab. We've also got e-learning. So in Arlo, you can actually create and deliver and manage all of your e-learning as well. That's a recent release that we've pushed out as an add-on. And you can actually choose the availability of when this content becomes available to your participants or to your learners. In this instance, we're going to be doing some pre-reading in advance, then running our face-to-face session. So the pre-reading is going to help set up that, I guess, the course content, get people familiar with what the course is going to cover. And then on the day when they arrive, they're going to be super ready to jump in and access the course content in your face-to-face session. So that's set to immediately, but you do have a lot of configurable options here around when they can actually get access. I'll actually go in later part of this demo, show you how to create e-learning as well. We need to give it a description. So this is going to run for 2 days. You can add the optional extras, but for now that looks good. We've got our 2 sessions. We've got our e-learning added. I'm going to click next. Next is our registration section. So this is about how we're going to capture our registrations. What kind of form do we want to provide the learner? What kind of questions do we want to ask them when they register? When they do register, what kind of policies and workflows do we want to follow? And then in terms of limits, I want to set a minimum limit of 1 and a maximum limit of 5. So that means that the course won't actually be able to start until 1 person has registered. And then at 5 is the maximum. Then you can't take any more registrations, but you could add something like a wait list. You can also set up alerts to be notified of this as well. I'm going to click next. Lastly, the last quick section here is just communications. Comms and Arlo are all automated and super powerful. There's a lot of information on here, and I won't be going through it all today just for the purpose of this demo to show off the integration. But essentially, you can set up all types of automated communications from when someone registers, you can send an automatic confirmation. You can send, when you set up the course and you add a presenter or an instructor, you send out information to them to notify them. You can do follow-up emails for things like marketing. You can also automatically provide certificates as well. So if I go ahead and I'm happy with that course, all my options on the left-hand side I've gone through, and I can click create and approve. So that course is going to create, and we can see I've got our 2 sessions here. What we need to do now is then go look on the website and have a look at on the front end, and then go through the registration experience, and then you can see the automated emails that come in from Arlo and Heropa as well. So I'm going to go click view on website, and that's going to open up in a new tab. And you'll see my Epic training. This is my, I guess, fictional website for my business Epic training. We do all types of training here. And this one's going to be WordPress for beginners. Now, all this information is pulled from the template. You can see the presenter, how long it's going to run for, the cost, the description, the images that we discussed. If I scroll down, you can see the description again, and then also all the different days that this these sessions are going to be available. I can click show more and see all the sessions that are there. Now, I scheduled this session for next week. So what I can do is go ahead and click register. And now we're on our checkout. So I've gone instantly from the website into the Arlo powered checkout. This is our new checkout release as well. Super modern, super clean, two-column interface. You can see everything on the right here in terms of the image and who's been registered. So on the left, it's pre-filled by information because it knows who I am. Again, that saves a lot of time. I'm just going to add my phone here. And then I've got a custom field that asks, have you used WordPress before? You could add this to anything. I've just used this as the example, but you could set this to be like, have you taken this certification before? Or you could have a open text field, just so you can capture the right information from your registrants before you give them access to the course. I'm going to go ahead and add another attendee, and you can see the updates here on the right as well. And I'm going to go ahead and add Jason as well. And he's going to be coming into my registration workflow. And I'll say that he has used WordPress before. And then we've also down here got an option for any newsletters or marketing material they'd like to sign up to. So I'll sign up to that, and also our custom terms and conditions. Now, as this course doesn't have a price, when we click register, it's going to process straight away. However, if you did have a price on your course, what that's going to do is take you to the next step where they can add all their payment details. We have options for things like buy now, pay later as well. So your registrants can always get access to the courses they want when they need them. So I'm going to click register for myself and Jason. And just like that, the registration has been processed. What I can do now is come back into Arlo. And then if I quickly refresh my page, you'll see that I now have two registrations. I've got myself and Jason. And you can see I've got access to two e-learning pieces of content, which I'll show you shortly, and communications have been sent out. In the meantime as well, you'll see also I've been added to my virtual lab. So I have an access here to my virtual lab, which we'll cover very shortly.
So Ben, just a couple of questions for you. So when we're looking at the comms, so the presenter's been notified, and that's also been assigned as a presenter in the virtual lab automatically, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it's all set up and flows straight through to Heropa.
And it recognizes the same course inside of Heropa and all the conditions you've set up, so all that stuff flows through automatically.
That's correct. So the title, the name, the location, the instructor, any registrants that come in, everything flows through to Heropa. There's a two-way sync, and that information comes into Heropa, and then we're sending back some information around certification and things like that as well, which I believe Jason will cover.
And is it worth just pointing out, I guess, that if you're not putting this out as a public course and charging folks for it, or if maybe you're offering some private training, you need to collect registrations and those details, there's a different workflow?
There is, yeah, there is a full custom private workflow as well. And today we're just kind of showcasing the public one just to get the concept, I guess, easier. But there is also a private registration workflow as well. Yeah.
No, very cool.
Cool. So yeah, as we said, we've got a bunch of emails that have gone out automatically, and also this information has been passed to Heropa. So if we think about the first session, which is going to be some pre-reading and then our instructor-led session, we need to access that pre-reading. So with Arlo, what we do is we offer a customer portal. That customer portal is fully branded. And you can see in the course instructions that were sent to me, I can then access the customer portal down here. So this is my branded Epic Training customer portal. And you can see all the courses that I've registered for, as well as all the courses that I've completed in the past. You can see I've been a pretty busy boy with all my training. So currently we've got a bunch of different WordPress for beginner courses, and you can see all the different content that's assigned to them. If I click and open up this e-learning here, you'll see I've got two different options around the statuses of how much I've progressed through my e-learning. If I go ahead and click start on my e-learning content, it's going to load up for me, and I'm now engaging essentially with your e-learning that you've made in Arlo as a learner. So this is their kind of the learner experience. So this is some e-learning that I'll show you how to set up in a moment. So here you can see what's WordPress all about. What's the dashboard? And this is just used as some pre-reading to kind of set up I guess on the day when they arrive, they're going to be all ready for your content, and they've got a really good overview. But of course, the use cases for e-learning are multifaceted. You could use it during the day, you could use it afterwards. It really depends on kind of your blended experience of what you're kind of trying to go for. So I'm just going to go through all the different options here. You can see I'm just quickly speeding through it. And this is an interactive, fully branded e-learning experience. And we've got a quiz at the end. Oh, this is a bit of a test. True. Ah, incorrect. False. It's always good doing this live online. Obviously, not too much of a WordPress expert, which of WordPress's primary content. But yeah, you get the point. It's a fully branded e-learning
And
experience.
so
If I
this
go
is
back to
this
my
this is
courses,
available immediately because you've set that condition. You want them to kind of consume this e-learning before you jump into that live session.
that's correct. Yeah, and you could set, yeah, you've got full kind of controls on when e-learning becomes available, and whether it be before, during, or after as well in terms of its availability. So that's the e-learning part. And then so we've done our pre-reading. And then let's say we've then straight away, it's just after that, run our face-to-face session. We've gone home, we've retained all that information for the day, but we know day two is going to be our hands-on virtual lab. What I need to do is get access to that. Luckily, Heropa has sent me an automated email as soon as my registration occurred. And all I have to do is click view event. But in case of, I don't want to steal Jason's thunder, what I'll do is I'll stop sharing and hand it over to you, Jason, and let you showcase the Heropa side.
Oh, great. Thanks, Ben.
And Ben, I guess the real magic here is that our customers are training experts. They're great at designing, engaging, high quality courses. That's their IP. But to make that easy to schedule, get live, sell, automate all these moving parts. I mean, we've set up a whole multi-session based on a template in minutes. That's the
Mm,
magic, right? So they can focus on the content, focus on the delivery.
exactly. Focus on delivering and amazing, impactful learning experiences for sure.
And now, like with Heropa, it's very seamless in terms of passing over that critical information and adding this kind of other element of their training session, this virtual lab, just really seamlessly. So, yeah, interested to see this part, Jason.
You're great. Okay, so the what you're seeing now is the event participant has clicked on the link in the email from Heropa and is now in the Heropa workspace ready to start their virtual instructor-led training. And this workspace is entirely browser-based with no plugins, so it works great through corporate firewalls. So the main panel provides access to the fully configured software environment, and in this case, it's a 2VM environment. The user has web-based access to a Windows desktop, and in the background is a Linux server running WordPress. But this could equally be any desktop application, including graphics-intensive 3D modeling software. Um, all of the compute power required is running in the cloud, so the user only needs access to a browser. So even if you're running on-site training, you can use Heropa. And for instructors, this can save half a day in setup time at a customer site, and not to mention the stress of configuring unknown computers. Um, the side panel contains integrated voice video chat, eliminating the need for Zoom or Teams. We also have a lab guide, and you can embed video, user-specific credentials via our API, and enable our AI assessment to help an instructor understand the progress of the participants through the class material. So if we take this example, this exercise, the learner needs to create a user, which we're now ready to check. The user has been created, and so I follow the instructions, and then I can now check this exercise. Our AI is comparing what's on screen to a reference screenshot that was uploaded by the content creator during the exercise creation. So in this case, you can see that it's not exactly correct. The user role should be a contributor, and the participant has set the user to be a subscriber. So let's pretend that the learner can't figure out what's wrong. So they're going to call for assistance. The instructor would normally have their own workspace in one monitor and this virtual classroom on a second monitor. And this virtual classroom provides you with a live view of each participant's desktop. So you can see there's a small red assistance icon in Tom Ging's user panel. So the user can join Tom's workspace to provide some over-the-shoulder assistance. So the instructor has full keyboard and mouse control to perform the over-the-shoulder assistance. So I, as the instructor, can help Tom, and in this case, Tom needs to change the role from a subscriber to a contributor. So I'm controlling Tom's workspace. So I'm going to come in, and Tom can see what's going on at this stage. I can show Tom, okay, you need to change this to a contributor. So once I provided the assistance, I can close down this workspace. I can cancel the call for assistance. And now I'm going to jump back to Tom's workspace. Tom can set the contributor. He can update the users to save the change, go back to the list view, and now recheck the exercise. So the number of attempts and the time taken on each exercise is recorded in our analytics module and can be reviewed by admins. And this information is also sent back to Arlo as part of our two-way flow in the integration. So all is now okay, and Tom can move to the next exercise. I'll now move to the instructor's workspace. So the instructor has some additional tools in their workspace when they start presenting. And so when they start presenting here, a new button appears in the user's workspace, allowing them to follow the instructor. The instructor can lock the participants into follow mode so that they know everyone is following along. They can share their desktop. They can go through slides, and they can share any other window. So jumping back to Tom's workspace, you can see Tom can't access his desktop any longer, and he's forced into following the host. And as Ben mentioned, this event was created by Arlo. The presenter role was set as the event host, and all of the registered users were enrolled and allocated seats automatically in this event. And the integration even sets up custom daily schedule. So Heropa will enable and disable user access automatically and stop VMs at the end of class. So there's zero additional configuration that needs to be done on our side. And this integration is also, as Ben mentioned, it's a two-way data flow. We will send attendance information back to Arlo, and if the AI assessment is enabled, we can even send grade information to Arlo. And this is a really great integration, and it shows how well Arlo and Heropa work together. And Andre, if we've got a little bit of time, I'm just going to jump in and talk about a couple of other use cases. I think we're going good for
We're going
time.
good, mate. And I've just
Yeah.
got a couple of quick questions. Spinning something like this up would take a bit of computing power. Is that a challenge for folks? Like if we set up the schedule and it's available for one day, like by only, I'm correct in saying you only create this virtual machine during the time of the course, and that's quite a cost saving for everyone.
Yeah, one of the really nice things is that we will provision the VMs just shortly before the event starts. We'll start the VMs at the start of class, stop them at the end of class, and you can even stop or suspend the VMs based on inactivity. So if you've got users that even either don't show up or not engaging, you can have your the policy say just suspend those VMs after a period so that you're not using compute resources unnecessarily. So it's very, very efficient from that perspective. Yeah.
And one other question, because a lot of well, I'm just kind of wondering around that transition from in-class training, which is probably used to be or probably still is quite common. You've got a class where you get a bunch of folks in, or maybe you're heading to your client's office and you're doing a bunch of training there. Is this still applicable in some of those kind of in-person environments?
Yeah, 100%. Like as I mentioned, one of the challenges of doing on-site training is the setup. You're going into an environment where you don't know what the corporate SOE environment is, whether it's locked down, whether you're going to be able to install the software. So in this case, you basically turn up at the client site, you provide them an email link that they open in their browser, and they're effectively running exactly this same experience, and you've got no stress about running on hardware. And everything is running in the cloud, so it doesn't make a difference what the power or age of the computers at the customer site or how locked down they are. So long as they've got access to a browser, you've got a fully configured, and these desktops are spun up from templates, so you know exactly the configuration. They've got your correct version of the software. They've got shared drives with your training material. It's just a like click a link in an email and you're ready to go.
Cool. So this can actually be used if you've got a course that blends face-to-face training and also virtual online, you can actually essentially use the same integration and speed up and kind of, I guess, make sure the experience is consistent.
Yeah, and we can present both, Windows, Linux, and even Mac desktops there. So it's very flexible, and so long as you have browser, it doesn't make a difference what your underlying operating system is, and we can provide, a combination of those. Our cyber customers have environments with Windows, Linux, desktop servers, Mac, all running in the same workspace, and it's very flexible.
Awesome.
Um, and Ben, Andre, I just want to touch on a couple of other use cases. So we've I've explained how instructor-led training, the capability works, but we can also provide on-demand access to lab environments for self-paced training. A common request from our customers is to be able to give learners extended access to environments. And through this Arlo integration, you can also include on-demand lab access. The registration, enrollment, and access to the lab environments is fully automated. The user experience is very similar, but one of the key differences is our lifecycle management policies. You as an admin, you can create a custom policy for any lab. And for example, you could give 10 hours of lab access over 30 days and specify that the VMs are shut down after 15 minutes of inactivity. So that granular level of control unlocks the ability to run self-paced training at a global scale. It's a great use case. Um, Another common use case for our customers is partner enablement. Um, Heropa allows you to provide semi-autonomous access to your channel partners and platinum customers to run their own labs. So training managers at your partners can enroll their users and draw down against training credits you've allocated them in Heropa. And the combination, I think, of these features, we're seeing customers run thousands of hours of training each month with very small training teams. And now when you add this Arlo integration into the mix, you've got a full end-to-end automation workflow. And I know we've primarily been focusing on training, but if you're part of a sales engineering or a marketing team, reach out to me and I'll run you through some of how our customers in these departments are leveraging Heropa. I won't go into it today, but we've got some really great sales engineering and technical marketing capabilities as well. Ben, I'll hand back to you.
And I'll just jump in just for
Oh, yeah,
one
yeah.
one one more comment. No, I think like that self-paced. I mean, we talked about in classroom, this is being used virtually, is obvious. But actually giving your learners access self-paced and having those limitations around, you know, providing them 10 hours or a month's access or between time frames, that's a huge value add, I think, if you're offering a course and you have that in the description saying this course also comes with, 10 hours self-paced access to this virtual environment. And so I think it does kind of inspire, I guess, training providers to think a little bit differently around how they can offer these courses, get their learners hands-on and really making that training effective. So I think that's a really interesting touch when we look at that kind of blended course delivery and kind of coming up some really interesting kind of multi-session courses.
Yeah, it's a very low resource approach to scaling training. There's literally no administrative overhead about once this integration is set up. There's single click access to the labs, the lifecycle policies handle all of the provisioning, and you could just sit back and relax while it's watching the training going on.
I've got one question from Corey McDonald. He's talking about, I know the attendee receives the email from Heropa. So you imagine you set up this course, someone's registered, they get the confirmation and all the course details from Arlo, but then they also get the access link from Heropa. Um, the links to the virtual labs to Heropa aren't included in the Arlo email, are they? That it's just all provisioned and automated in Heropa, and then they get that access through Heropa. It's not kind of that link to the virtual lab is not in the learner portal, for instance, or in the emails. That's kind of where I guess the integration stops in terms of access and security and all that kind of stuff. but all those comms are automated on both sides, and people have the link easily available, but it's not, fully accessible within Arlo, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Like it is a coordinated set of emails, and generally our customers have our emails set up, with email templates set up with their custom branding, and that's another thing I didn't mention is that Heropa provides a fully white labeled experience for all of our customers, and that all the way goes down to the URL. It could be academy.customer.com, and that branding goes through to our email templates. So it's a really nice experience, and fully branded.
Cool. So I think it's just coordinating that on both sides, but that makes sense. Cool. Ben, are you jumping back in?
I believe I am. Yes, I'm keen to show a few more of the Arlo functionality, if that's all good.
And keep the questions coming, folks. We yeah, loving seeing all the chat in the comments.
Alrighty, I'm going to share my screen. Thanks for a great overview of that, Jason. I love my favorite feature outside of the actual lab experience is the chat window and the community aspect, and having your video being shared inside of it as well. And all browser based makes it super smooth. Love it. Cool. So we're in Arlo, and as I mentioned before, this is kind of your, I guess, command center. We call it the dashboard. It's where you can kind of see all the goings on for your training company in terms of your operations, your financials, how registration's looking, what kind of courses are about to run, who's come in recently. You can see myself and Jason when we registered earlier are in here as well. You can see any orders. You can see that I've got one that's attention. I've got some payment that's due. So I've got to chase those up. We have a lot of automation that applies to a lot of different aspects of this. The dashboard's great because basically anything here you can click into and get more information in just a click. So for example, if I wanted to look at the course that's running tomorrow, I just click through and I'm in straight away and I can see all the information. You can see I've got Bo Peep and Slinky Dog registered here. I can see any e-learning that they've accessed. I can see any communications that are sent and just really get a view of all the course. So I quickly showed, I guess, the learner experience of creating e-learning. But what I wanted to today, if it's all right with everyone, is show you how to create e-learning yourself. So, I know that we touched on it earlier. You're the master of your content and you're expert in your field. And e-learning really helps supplement that by taking something, let's say, for example, some physical training material that you use on the day. Let's say maybe it's a PDF handout, and you want to make that a bit more of an engaging experience, or you want to turn that into something that's a bit more impactful and drives a bit more learner retention. So what I'm going to do today is create the same course we saw earlier, the one that I was accessing, and I'll show you how quick and easy it is in Arlo. So in the e-learning tab, here's kind of all the different e-learning that I've made. You can see I've been super busy creating different types of content. If I click create new content, here we've got different options of different types of ways we can utilize our e-learning feature. You can drag and drop a document and turn that into an e-learning course or module, essentially. So imagine a workbook or perhaps a PDF or some sort of handout that you usually use. You can generate a course with a prompt. So think like ChatGPT style. I could write in here, generate me a WordPress course for beginners, and it will take that information and generate one for you. Obviously, the more detailed your prompt is, the kind of better output that you get. You can convert a presentation. So let's say, for example, on the day of your instructor-led face-to-face course, you've got a PowerPoint that you go through manually and you click through each slide one by one. You can actually drag and drop that directly into Arlo, and we're going to turn that into an engaging, self-paced e-learning experience for your customers. If none of those options really apply to you, you can also start from scratch. You can use our drag and drop builder to kind of build dynamic e-learning content right in front of your eyes. And lastly, our newest feature is that you can actually take your SCORM content and bring it into Arlo now as well and connect it into your courses to create a unique blended experience. So let's say, for example, you've spent the last few years building out all your different SCORM content, but it's sitting in a separate LMS and you're having, you're using Arlo as well. And the experience in a way with the sort of similar to the virtual labs, it's kind of two systems and folks don't know how to get access to content and when they're meant to access it. With the SCORM file, what you can do is just bring it straight in here, upload it, and it will drag and drop it in just like all the other types of content we have available here within Arlo.
What I'm going to do... quick question from Laura.
Sure.
What AI models are we using for the course generation, document to course? Gemini, right?
Yeah, exactly. We use Gemini, yeah.
And it's all the kind of, I guess, all the IP is protected and not kind of sent to the larger learning model, correct? Or the language learning model.
That's correct. It's all contained. And if you jump onto our website and scroll down into our footer, you'll see we've got an AI service statement. I'll just quickly bring that up for you, just so you can see it is. just here, AI service statement. So if you just head to that in the footer, you can read all about how we handle data and all the different types of ways we make sure that your data is safe. Cool. Jumping back into the presentation. So what I'm going to do is go document to course, and I'm going to take the physical PDF that I've created in the past that I'm using kind of manually, and I'm going to transform that into e-learning. So what we do is when we click create that content, we go through a series of different prompts to help the AI understand our audience, the content, and the context of how we want to use that content. So what I need to do is just drag and drop my e-learning content here. So I can come over here and I'm going to drop that in, and you'll see getting started with WordPress handout PDF. Now, just really quickly, if I just load this up just to show you what it looks like, you'll see it's a pretty basic instructions here, pretty not very engaging. You've got a chance of losing some learner drop off. I'm going to upload it here. We're going to turn that into something truly remarkable. You can also connect to your Google Drive or OneDrive accounts as well, your cloud devices, to kind of speed up that access for grabbing some content. I'm going to click submit. That content's going to process and load into Arlo. So now it's within your kind of Arlo container. You can see it's uploaded successfully. And then we need to then gather some information and provide the AI some context. So are they intermediate users? Are they advanced? Are they beginners? This will help determine the kind of messaging and the kind of language that we use throughout this module. We know this is a WordPress for beginners course, so I'm going to click beginners. If I had to categorize my audience, what would that be? I'm going to go in this instance, bloggers starting out, as blogging is quite common in the WordPress platform. We can choose our language, so we can offer it in different languages if we'd like, but in this instance, I'm going to use English. We can choose our tone, so do we want this to be informal and conversational, motivational and persuasive? My Epic training business is pretty relaxed and conversational, so I'll choose that option. And then we get asked around the length of this course. So you saw before that the content is a few pages long. So I'm thinking probably 4 to 6 screens in this instance are going to be good. Screens are each individual, I guess, section that your learners progress through. And it's picked up that we've got some images also in our PDF. And it says, would you like to take these? And I'm going to say, yes, incorporate my images into course. What that's going to do is then pull all the images. You can see I've just got the 3 here, the same ones I showed in that the e-learning module before, and I can import those directly into my image library, which is also great because you can reuse them in the future as well. Cool, we're at the final step. All I need to do now is generate the course outline. The course outline is going to give us kind of an overview of what it would like to create. And the good thing is here is that you can adjust things. So you could change the title, you could drag and drop things around, you could remove things, and you can regenerate if you don't think it's got it very correct. But in this instance, it's asked me about the bloggers. So it said WordPress for bloggers, put your first steps to a website awesomeness. Love that title. So yeah, I can drag and drop things around if I want. I can remove them. It's also generated me a quiz, which I'll cover very quickly as well. But also, I think I'm pretty happy with this. So I'm going to click create course. So once I click create course, Arlo gets to work for you. And on the left-hand side, you're going to see all the different screen types. So the different screens that are going to be generated one by one. And here you're going to kind of get an overview of what the experience is going to be like for your learners. Now, all this content is extremely brandable. You can change your colors, you can change the images, you can remove or adjust text. We've got a lot of built-in tools in the editor as well to enable you to kind of speed up that content. Now, obviously, this is AI generated, and you're the expert, so you can jump in here after this and really add your expertise. What this is doing is similar to scheduling, saving you a lot of time in terms of getting those courses created. And then it's up to you to then jump in and kind of add your IP or your expertise. It's also generated me a quiz as well, based on the course content that we've provided before. So what I'm going to do is click done. That course is now fully generated. And as an example, I could come in here and add my background image. It's added all the content that I uploaded earlier. And you can see I can then do that. I can set maybe the expectation of the length. I could then refine this copy and perhaps make it shorter. And it's really super configurable, super easy. Lastly, I'll just show you, you've got all your design options. I'll just show you how easy it is to change one of the preset themes. Let's go with Berry. I'm happy with Berry. I click save, and just like that, it's been rebranded. Now you can set your own colors and logos and things as well. So that's a really quick intro to e-learning and our new available feature, which is available now. What I also wanted to do is just quickly show you the learner experience, which we covered very early in the demo. You can also check it on all device types. So for example, and I can see here that the text in this instance on mobile is perhaps a little bit longer than I would like, which allows me to really know, okay, I need to go and refine that content. So let's say, for example, I just want to make it shorter, then I can come back and click preview, go into the mobile experience, and you can see instantly they look so much better. So the preview gives you kind of a really good insight into, the end. You have confidence, I guess, before you push it out into the world, that it's going to be a professional and slick experience. So once that's made, you can see I can go back, and now it's all created, and it's currently sitting in draft. You also get an overview of where it's being used in terms of your courses and what have you. If I click publish content, that content is now available. I can now attach it to courses. It's really as simple as going into a course. You can then jump into, say, for example, this WordPress for Beginners course. I can go Edit tab. I can go into the schedule. You can see I've got 2 pieces of e-learning here. Let's remove those just really quickly. And then let's add our new e-learning content in that we just created. WordPress for bloggers. And again, as I mentioned earlier, you can set the availability in terms of when that becomes available. Is it at the start? Is it straight away? Is it when the course ends? Is it on a specific date? And you can also set some completion requirements as well. So that's a really quick overview of our e-learning add-on. What I also wanted to show you is some more information around the customer portal. So if I go into my WordPress for Beginners course here, and sorry, actually, I'll go to my settings. And I'm going to go to the customer portal. Customer portal is fully brandable. You can add your logos, your colors, all the information around what's shown and what isn't. If I go and click View Customer Portal, here you can see this is my branded experience I showed earlier, which connects to your Arlo website. You can see all the completed information. You can see any e-learning that's happened. You can see the due dates. You can see when things are required to be accessed. You can see this one's due on Saturday. This one's due on Friday. You can set the availability, as I mentioned before. I can see any standalone e-learning here. So here I've got health and safety for homework. It's a course that I need to do. You can see any previously completed content. You can also show your profile, your waiting list, and any orders as well. Cool. So that's that aspect too. And then lastly, I just wanted to really quickly, if I have time, so do want to leave some time for a Q&A, just quickly show the emails in Arlo as well. Because obviously that's a really important part in terms of automating your communications. So if I go into my email settings, I'll show you exactly how we can brand them and what they look like. So for all the different types of emails that we send out, they're fully brandable. So I could add my logos on the left-hand side. I could add any font weights or font colors. I can change all the colors here as well. And then you can then preview the experience across all the different options as well, just to make sure that everything is professional, super slick, and that everything that your customers are getting once they've registered is, I guess, cohesive with your brand. There's lots of other options in here as well, such as the CRM. We've got really powerful reporting. You've got marketing tools. You can manage payments and send automated payment reminders. You can view your presenter's calendar and who's available and connect that into your scheduling as well. I won't get into too much detail on those things today. Just did want to cover that e-learning piece. But yeah, that's everything from me today. I'll hand it back to you, Andre, I believe.
Awesome. Thanks, Ben. And what I love about all those e-learning features that we've just launched is it really adds another string to the bow, and it's interesting to see how different training providers use them before, during, and after their courses. So let's share my screen real quick, and we'll get into the wrap up. Everyone can see that? All good? Yeah.
Yep, can see it all good.
So some of and I've got a question as well that I want to ask from Claire, but just to cover some of the key points of this integration. So firstly, a simple, flexible setup. When you create a course in Arlo, that setup flows straight into Heropa. The matching virtual lab is automatically provisioned with the right configuration every single time. If it's a multi-day course, the schedule you set in Arlo is followed in Heropa. Virtual machines spin up before each session and pause between days to keep costs down. Plus, there is support for both instructor-led and self-paced virtual labs, which I think is a potential massive value add for your courses. Next, the learner experience is smooth. So when someone registers in Arlo, they're automatically set up with lab access based on the course rules you've defined. No hunting for links, no extra steps. Everything also stays aligned behind the scenes. The presenters you assign in Arlo are automatically assigned in Heropa. If you change a date, switch a trainer, or adjust the timeline, those changes flow through instantly. And finally, clear visibility. So Heropa sends attendance, completion, lab activity, and grading back into Arlo. So your reporting stays in one place. Certificates are issued automatically, and you're not having to chase information across multiple systems. So that kind of automated certificates is a really popular feature on our end. Jason, I know this is a new integration, and you've been setting it up with some of our shared customers. What are they loving the most about it?
It has to be the two-way data flow. I think one of the challenges with two separate systems was managing attendance. So I was talking to a training manager the other day, and he was saying that he comes in on a Monday, and it takes about half a day following up with instructors who haven't correctly marked attendance, and it's preventing certificates being issued, and just us with the integration being able to send automatically attendance records back. He thinks it's probably going to save him half a day every Monday just with that one feature alone. And
Wow.
you add in potential if you with the on demand us doing AI assessment grading being sent back, you can see how that leads into automatic certification or certificate issuance, etc. So yeah, I think that seems to be the key feature that
Aw-
people are liking. Yeah.
Awesome. And Claire is already kind of booking in a time for a bit of a technical walkthrough with Chris. But at a high level, how are customers, so they've, they've signed up to Heropa and Arlo. What does the setup look like for them to make sure it's all flowing smoothly?
Yeah, we walk through. Obviously, this is a relatively new integration, so at the moment we're walking our customer through the setup, making sure the configurations are correct, helping them do an end-to-end workflow test, and handing it over. So it's a white glove approach at the moment, which works nicely.
Awesome. And I think both our teams have really great support teams and customer service managers as well. So that's a real plus. Is there any other questions coming through? Otherwise, we'll roll to the final slide. And what we really want to encourage folks today is to come talk to us. We've got an expert team that would love to kind of show you through the integration and show you pieces that that are more specific to your business on the Arlo side and the Heropa side. So each of these links go to our website. Please do book a time with us. We'll follow through with some more information after this webinar, and would love to chat about this further. Uh, Otherwise, if there's no more questions, and there's been some good chat, so thanks to Chris and Mel in the chat for fielding those questions. But yeah, I mean, any final comments from you guys, I guess, to round this out, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, been awesome showcasing the integration. It's super slick to see, and I think it's going to be a massive impact for people who are running software training. I just wanted to mention that this is being recorded, and we will send out the recording as well for you to watch afterwards if you'd like, or share with your colleagues too.
And simply, yeah, reply to those emails, and if you have any follow-up questions, and be happy to help.
100%. Yeah, Arlo is a super diverse and amazing platform. It's got so many features. I wish I had time to show them all today. So please do reach out to our team, and we can show you everything and apply it to your business and your use case.
I just want to say thanks to the team at Arlo for doing most of the heavy lifting from the perspective of organizing this webinar. It's been great, and it is just it's an amazing integration, and we're so happy to have this out there, and looking forward to getting it set up for our mutual customers.
Awesome. All right. Well, no, it's been a pleasure working with you and your team as well, and we're really looking forward to getting this in the hands of our joint customers. And I know we've got a case study in the works as well, which we'll be make sure to share out. So, thanks everyone for joining us today, for spending this hour with us, and obviously, if you've got any more questions or if you want to chat further, we'd love to connect you with one of the experts on our teams, and we can sort you out. So. With that, let's wrap it up and enjoy the rest of the day. So thanks everyone.